Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. On behalf of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and our worshipable acharyas of the Brahma, Madhva, Gaudiya Parampara, we now begin this initiation ceremony. It was here. Could everyone hear? It was here in the Lower East Side, or the East Village of New York City, that His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada, initiated the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. In the Bowery, in various parts of Manhattan. After Srila Prabhupada, he said he tried to study the values and the consciousness of the American people through the sample of Sally Agarwal. Srila Prabhupada gave an analogy that when you take a drop of water from the ocean, you could study the ocean. Srila Prabhupada, in his surrender to the order of his Guru, to the mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, sailed on the Jaladuta. Such a mystery. Didn't know anyone, but he had faith. He had compassion. Srila Prabhupada told that when he was first coming, he was planning to organize his movement just like things were in India, in Gaudiya Math. But when he saw Boston at the harbor, he offered his prayers. Krishna, I don't know. Only if you give me the words to speak will they understand your words. Somehow, on the order of my Guru Maharaj, I have come here. Please make me a puppet and let me dance as you like me to dance. Such was his surrender. And his compassion. I was just listening to a recording of Srila Prabhupada today, and it was an initiation ceremony. And Srila Prabhupada said, initiation means to surrender. In fact, he gave the translation to the word Nama, Nama Om, or Om Namo. He said Nama means to surrender. To give our heart, our body, our mind, our words, for the pleasure in the service of Krishna and our gurus. So when Srila Prabhupada was picked up here in the docks of New York City, he was just put on a bus to Butler, Pennsylvania. And there his first experience of America, was Gopal Agarwal's wife, Sally Agarwal. And he studied her. And then he came to Manhattan. And he understood something like in a hospital, there's conventional ways to treat a person. But when they are brought into the emergency ward, sometimes you just have to do the needful and apply the conventional methods according to the need. Well, Srila Prabhupada really saw the Western world as a serious emergency. And here in the Lower East Side, just across the block on 26 2nd Avenue, he began that little storefront temple and established the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. And the devotees who were there they were hardly even devotees. They were just trying to help Swamiji. And this idea of an international society was quite inconceivable, unbelievable, and astonishing. But Srila Prabhupada, he was surrendering to his mission. And it was here that he established his life's offering to his Guru Maharaj and the Parampara in the form of ISKCON. He had the Indian printed version of the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam that he spent years translating and writing purports at Radha Damodar Temple in Vrindavan. And it was those Srimad Bhagavatams in the holy name, and for prasad, according to the finances he had, he would cut an apple in as many pieces as there were people in the storefront. Prasad distribution. And a little later, from ISKCON developed Back to Godhead magazine distribution, Harinam Sankirtan, and a little later, book distribution. And opening temples, and schools, and farm communities, and scientific outreach, and a multitude of ways to reach the people of the world. But it was initiated here. Sometimes Srila Prabhupada would say initiation means the beginning. And until then, we're preparing to begin. But Srila Prabhupada also explained that initiation is really the commitment of the heart. The taking of the vows, the giving of names, the sitting at the fire sacrifice, receiving beads. These are all sacred ways of confirming, expressing, and also committing ourselves to that commitment of the heart. In his own life, Srila Prabhupada told that when he first met his Guru Maharaj in 1922, he said, I accepted him as my Guru then. It was about 11 years later till he got initiated formally. But I don't think there's ever been a more divine, sacred, and pure guru-to-disciple relationship as what began in 1922 on that rooftop on Ultadunga Junction Road in Calcutta. Because Srila Prabhupada committed his life with faith. My opinion is you should turn the fans on because some of you look like you're suffering. I think you should turn all the fans on. We're not fanatics, but everything could be used in Krishna's service. When Srila Prabhupada became the founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, Krishna established him as the guru of our movement. And over the years, since Srila Prabhupada's departure, our leadership and our devotees on all levels have realized more and more how, just like watering the root of a tree, the whole tree is nourished, it flourishes. The leaves and the branches and the twigs, the trunk. By putting Srila Prabhupada's will, his instructions, his divine grace in the center of our lives, and all serving together for that purpose, the tree of ISKCON becomes strong. And each part, each one of us, becomes nourished with Krishna's mercy. So whatever role we may be serving, as a mother, or a father, or an uncle, or an auntie, a brother, a sister, a GBC, a temple president, a Sankirtan leader, a pujari, a godbrother, a godsister, a Shiksha Guru, a Diksha Guru. These are all roles that we accept responsibility for together as a community to serve Srila Prabhupada on behalf of Srila Prabhupada. On each initiation, Srila Prabhupada would ask us to recite a particular verse. Om apavitra pavitro va sarvavastam gatopi va yasmaret pundarikaksham sabhayabhyantara suchi. That whether we are pure or impure, or even having passed through all situations of life, one who remembers the beautiful lotus-eyed Supreme Personality of Godhead becomes purified both within and without. Srila Prabhupada told this simple sloka encapsulates the very purpose of initiation, the very purpose of the human life itself, to become purified. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sajja Kabunoi Sravanadi Sudhiti Kodiya Yudhoi. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught that love for Krishna, Krishna Prem, is within the heart of every living being. It's our constitutional nature. It's our highest potential. But we have forgotten. And in that forgetfulness, we act in so many ways, trying to find the pleasure of Krishna in the shadows of Maya's mirages. And every time we do that, and we've been doing it since time immemorial, we become more implicated and complicated in the network of forgetfulness. The mind is compared to a mirror. When the eternal soul, which has a personal divine relationship with Krishna, looks to the mind, it's supposed to reflect Krishna, our love for Krishna, our service to Krishna. This was Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's simple principle that he built his entire philosophy upon. Jivera Swarupoi Krishnara Nityadas. We are eternally the servants of Krishna. That is the nature of everyone. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavari Paschatya Deshatarine. Srila Prabhupada composed this pranam mantra like a mission statement of what he came to give us. The message of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Srila Prabhupada so much pleased his guru, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada, with his Vyas Puja homage. Srila Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada would have this read quite often, on many occasions. This line, absolute is sentient thou hast proved, impersonal calamity thou hast removed. This is the foundational essence of all the Vaishnava acharyas. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchit Ananda Vigraha. Krishna is the source of everything that exists. Janmadya Shayata. And Krishna's form, his personality, his pastimes, his abode, his relationships with his devotees are eternal, full of knowledge, and full of bliss. Parameti Paramatmeti Bhagavaniti Shakyate. That the one truth has appeared as the all-pervading Brahman, as the Lord who is seated in the heart of every living being, and as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And the highest revelation of prema or love is only possible when we recognize and live by the principle, Samsiddhir Haritoshanam. I'm the eternal servant of Krishna, and my only duty in life is to please Krishna. And our acharyas, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he gave in his Shikshastakam the very basis of their teachings. Nadanam na janam na sundarim kabitam va jagadisha kamaye mama janmani janmanishwari bhavatad bhakti rohoite kitvai. I do not want wealth or the beauty and the pleasure of sexual experience. I do not want fame, followers, or even liberation. I simply want to serve you unconditionally forever. It's so natural, but so revolutionary. In the age of Kali, where so many people are trying to put themselves in the center and their own satisfaction, their own achievements as the goal of life, Srila Prabhupada established the standard. He gave us the form of the deities so we can awaken that intimate personal relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And by remembering Krishna, because Krishna is pavitra, all pure, we become purified. Om pavitra pavitrova. And in this verse it describes even having passed through all circumstances of life. It's very important, because awakening love for Krishna is not an easy thing. We will have to pass through all circumstances of life. I remember in my own life, I resisted initiation for quite a while because I just didn't think I was qualified. And I was thinking, even I was told so many times, when you get initiated, then you will be very much empowered. But then somebody told me, but you'll also be tested. And I was thinking, well, if you're empowered, it doesn't matter if you're tested. But you're tested. And by Krishna's grace, sooner or later in our lives, we're tested beyond our comprehension of how we could be tested in so many levels. Sometimes physically, sometimes emotionally, sometimes spiritually. But this wonderful sloka tells, in whatever way we're tested, we could be tested by success. We could be tested by good health. We could be tested by popularity and fame. Those are serious, hard tests to pass. Because trinadapi sunichena turaribasehish. We're supposed to be more humble than a blade of grass. How are we supposed to be humble when everybody likes us? So that's a test. And sometimes there's dishonor. And sometimes there's serious physical pains and disease and even the state of dying. And sometimes all our efforts seem to be failures. And sometimes we even disappoint ourselves due to bad habits. There's so many ways we're tested, apparently positive or negative. But in this verse it tells, in whatever may come, we should remember Krishna. Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu, Shri Vishnu. Now we shouldn't remember Krishna like Kamsa did, or Shishupal. We want to remember Krishna in a way that, Krishna, I'm yours. Thakur Bhakti Vinod, he composed this prayer that Srila Prabhupada often sang. Manaso deho geho jo kichumor, arpilum tuao pade nanda kishore. My body, my family, my home and property, my abilities, Krishna, everything belongs to you. I'm your servant. This is how we remember Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada taught us, the most powerful way of remembering Krishna is chanting Krishna's holy names. Golokera Premadana Harinam Sankirtana. That Krishna's name has descended from Goloka Vrindavan to give us entrance into Goloka Vrindavan. Nam Namakari Bahuta Nija Sarva Shaktis. It's so simple. Krishna's come in many names, and he's empowered his presence in every one of those authorized names. And he's invested his love, his mercy, his supreme power in his holy names. Yegatamam prapadyante tamstataiva bhajamya. But as we approach the holy names, that is how the names are going to reveal to us. Therefore, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave the mindset in which a devotee chants the holy names. Gopi Bharatur Padakamalayora Das 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 Anudas. That I'm the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of the Lord of the Gopis, Shri Krishna. It is the nature of this world is we want to be master, enjoyer, controller, proprietor. But Krishna consciousness means to be the servant of the servant of the servant. And when we chant the holy names in this spirit, then Pavitra. We remember Krishna and we become purified. Srila Prabhupada explained when you put iron rod in fire, it becomes red and hot with fire. That's the power of association. The association of devotees, Rupa Goswami proclaims, is foundational to all the other processes of devotional service. To keep ourselves in the association of sincere, dedicated devotees who are honestly and earnestly striving to please Guru and Krishna, and to hear the glories of the Lord in that association, to speak and to chant the glories and names of the Lord in that association, and to render service together is the most powerful, simple, and accessible way of always remembering Krishna. Just down the street in Tompkins Square Park, under that elm tree, who would ever think of a sacred elm tree? It's the power of association. And In Vrindavan, we read about Kadamba trees in the Srimad Bhagavatam, and banyan trees, and tamal trees. But by the association of Srila Prabhupada, who chanted the holy names in a little park, mostly filled with homeless people, alcoholics, drug addicts, Srila Prabhupada sat there, and by his singing, by his compassion, that elm tree became holy for all time to come. Even in thousands and thousands of years from now, people will be remembering that elm tree. We go there, we touch the lotus roots of the elm tree. We embrace the elm tree, we pray for the mercy of the elm tree. Whenever I go there, there's usually a devotee circumambulating the elm tree. And in hundreds of years from now, perhaps that elm tree will be gone, but the seed of that elm tree will create another elm tree, and that elm tree will be a place of pilgrimage. So just a regular old American tree has become a place of pilgrimage by the association of a Paramhamsa pure devotee. Srila Prabhupada, he gave us himself. He gave us his heart in the form of his books, his movement, and in the holy names of Krishna. So all of you who are accepting initiation today, I'm very humbled just to be in your presence, and I'm very honored that you're accepting me as the servant of your servants on behalf of Srila Prabhupada. Today's initiation is especially dear because all of you have either been born within our movement, Krishna consciousness movement, or have been raised from a very young age. And many of the parents are here. And so many of the parents are my senior god brothers and god sisters. When I was a new devotee, and still, I just want to worship these devotees and touch their feet. And ultimately to serve them. Never could I imagine that Srila Prabhupada would allow me to serve you in this way. But somehow or other, we are all united on behalf of Srila Prabhupada to bring these children and grown-up children to the joys of pure devotional service. Just yesterday I heard Srila Prabhupada speak, the purpose of our movement, the purpose of Vedic culture is sarve sukhano bhavantu, that everyone should be happy. And I heard a marriage lecture, this was years ago, where Prabhupada said, the purpose of marriage is to be happy. And actually, As a brahmachari, I never heard it that way before. We heard just the opposite. And when I heard Prabhupada say that, there was a shift in my understanding. Because Krishna consciousness is the path of true happiness, the happiness of the soul in a personal relationship with Krishna. And in that personal relationship with Krishna, there is the happiness of the association with one another. And all sincere devotees within Srila Prabhupada's society are Srila Prabhupada's personal children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren. There may be various designations within that, but we're one family. And there's nothing that will please Srila Prabhupada more than if we really truly follow his principles and be united as a family. In Kali Yuga, people think it's so great and heroic and macho and everything to disagree and fight with each other and try to prove their superiority. Amani namana dena. But anyone could do that. How to cooperate with affection, with appreciation, on the higher principle of pleasing Srila Prabhupada and pleasing all of his servants, all of our gurus. That's the challenge that will make our communities empowered, because we will be happy. Devotees want to give each other Krishna in a way that makes each other happy. Shruti Kirti Prabhu wrote a book, What is the Difficulty? And in listening to lectures of Prabhupada, I do for quite some time every day, after reading from his book, it's incredible how many times Prabhupada says that. In almost every occasion. What is the difficulty? He was talking to Allen Ginsberg. He told Allen Ginsberg, this was in Columbus, Ohio, he said, you are a very, very exalted person. You have received Krishna's blessings. You're not an ordinary man. And Allen Ginsberg was sitting next to his partner, Peter. And Allen Ginsberg said, I don't deserve the words you're speaking. And Srila Prabhupada said, no, I know you are not an ordinary person. Allen Ginsberg, he said, well, I recently did give up smoking cigarettes. But that's only because I had a serious car accident. And then he said to Prabhupada, but I still eat meat. And then he asked, what will happen because I still eat meat? Something. And I was listening very careful how Srila Prabhupada was going to answer that. Would you like to know? According to Kaladesha Patra, Prabhupada speaks the same message. He didn't quote Manu Samhita in this case. He said, you and your friend, he said, you come with me to Vrindavan, and we will live together. You live with me in Vrindavan for 3 months. And after that, you will forget all about meat. That was his answer. Param dristva nivartate. How Srila Prabhupada knew how to elevate everyone, to make them attached to remembering Krishna. I could give very long lectures on each of the initiates today, but what to do? Everybody knows everything anyway. As I was coming up the sidewalk of First Avenue here on the East Village, the first person I met was Rukmini Devi. And she said, I've been waiting 42 years for this day. I think that encapsulates everything. The power of a mother's love, a pure devotee mother's love, is something extraordinary. So each of you who are coming forward with such deep sincerity to take these vows today, I thank you. And everyone who has come to this ceremony, I believe, has come with deep love, appreciation, and heartfelt prayers for Radha Govinda, Radha Murlidhar, Radha Madan Mohan, for Srila Prabhupada's blessings to be upon you. Thank you very much.
His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj ki jai.
If I can say one more thing. To see Krishna conscious families, parents, children, grandchildren, in some cases, great-grandchildren. Of course, every devotee is great. It's extraordinary. It's beautiful. It's so much the fulfillment of Srila Prabhupada and Lord Chaitanya's dream. And among the devotees today, we see the parents with their love for Krishna, and their children have inherited that love for Krishna, and their children are inheriting their love for Krishna. And in this case, we have an assembly of initiates. Their whole lives is in tasting the sweetness and spreading the sweetness of Krishna's holy names. Something inherited from their parents, inherited by the society around them. That's something that all of you, your whole life is to share that. We're truly overwhelmed with gratitude. Hare Krishna.
So now we'll call each initiate and their parents also, give an opportunity for them if they would like to share any words of wisdom, words of guidance for each initiate. And we'll start off with Bhavin. You can come forward, pay obeisances. Pay obeisances. You can first pay obeisances to Srila Prabhupada, and then pay obeisances. They're just here. No, it's okay. Bhavin, right here. And then you can give pranam mantra also to Srila Radhanath Maharaj. Hey.
should receive dust from lotus feet of parents. All initiates, please do this. Did you ever do that before? Initiation means beginning. Thank you very much. Very grateful to you. On behalf of Srila Prabhupada and our Brahmamadva Gaudiya Parampara, very honored to give you the name Bhakti Rasa Das.
Bhakti Rasa Das ki jai!
Maharaj, I vow to chant 16 rounds of Mahamantra every day. I vow to follow the four regular principles, namely no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, and no illicit sex.
And to be servant of the servant.
To be servant of the servant of the servant.
Thank you. Bhakti Rasa Das.
Bhakti Rasa Das Prabhu ki jai! Can ask for Tulsi to come forward.
Actually, they can take vows before the parents speaking. Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. I vow to chant 16 rounds of the Maha Mantra every day. And I vow to not eat meat, not take intoxication, no illicit sex, and no gambling. And I vow to serve you and the devotees in the mood of the servant of the servant of the servant of Srila Prabhupada. Thank you for accepting me.
Thank you very much.
Hare Krishna. So first of all, I feel completely grateful and overwhelmed to be here in the company of all my senior god brothers and god sisters, friends, old and some new I've met today. And many of these wonderful devotees who, some of them I've had the privilege of seeing grow up in Krishna consciousness. So maybe some of you may not know, but Tulsi, she was always, well, she was born with an exceptional energy. Let's just say it was unbridled, a little unbridled, and but always, well, sometimes a challenge. Also, she was living in the shadow of her older sister, who was always very prim and proper and well behaved. But through service and chanting and association of the devotees and kirtan, she channeled that energy in a very wonderful way, and I'm so proud of her today. It's manifested in the lovely woman and devotee she is today, that she has a very generous heart and is always very enthusiastic to serve Srila Prabhupada and to help others on their path. So I would really like to thank the village of Bhaktivedanta Manor really for raising her. You may not know, but some of the things, she used to clean the toilets every Sunday with Pranabandhu Prabhu. And she was engaged very much with the Bhaktivedanta players who I know have visited here in New York many times. And I would like to thank the Bhakti Center really for sustaining and nurturing her devotion, and ISKCON Tuwako, and especially Namras Prabhu, who's taken up the challenge, you know, thankfully. But he's brought her to this stage, and I don't know how much longer we would have to wait, but he was really encouraged her to take this very important step in her life. And I would like to thank you, Maharaj, for seeing the potential in her. And, you know, I really feel that, you know, she's going to, by all your blessings and love, that she will carry on to hopefully serve Srila Prabhupada and surprise us all. But please shower your blessings upon her. So I think for a mother, it's our proudest moment. And please, all of you, help her to take this next step and help her in her spiritual life. Hare Krishna. So my husband was not able to be present today, but he is watching. We can all say a big Haribol to him. He is watching online, and he sent this special message for all of you, because we are parenting all of you. We're giving our love to all of you. So he says, I am so happy to see all the devotees here today become initiated. Although initiation means the beginning, today represents the culmination of many years of growing in faith. Each of you have used intelligence, courage, and loving service to be sitting right where you sit today. To become initiated means that you have received the direct blessings of Radha and Krishna, and they, in their kindness, have placed you in the shelter of their dear devotee, His Holiness Radhanath Swami. I offer you all my congratulations and best wishes for the bright future ahead of you. May I also thank you all for being such a loving community and helping our daughters Tulsi and Janavi Jivanadasi to take this next step in their lives. Before they were born, my wife and I prayed to be sent children who would play their part in the movement of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And they have never disappointed us. We are both overjoyed to see this day come. May their lordships shower you both with their blessings this day, and may you be blessed throughout the years to honor your commitments, to grow in loving devotion, and to inspire the next generation of this great movement of Krishna consciousness. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai!
Now she gets to be the mother of your grandchild. We are so proud of you, so grateful. The Thursday night kirtan here, a few years ago there were 3, 4, 5 people coming, and then Tulsi and Namras Prabhu took responsibility, and today there's average about 150 people that come. Thank you. On behalf of Srila Prabhupada and our Guru Parampara, I'm very honored to offer you the name Tulsi Preeti Devi Dasi.
Tulsi Preeti Devi Dasi ki jai! Can ask for Manish and his parents also to come forward.
Krishna Maharaj. I vow to chant 16 rounds every day, follow the 4 regulative principles. No meat eating, no intoxication, no illicit sex, no gambling. Serve the Vaishnavas in Srila Prabhupada's movement. Serve you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. After many, many years, I was waiting when my son grown up and he take initiation. And this is the day I'm very pleased. It reminds me Srimad Bhagavatam, Rushabdev talking to his sons that one who, a person cannot protect his dependent against the Maya. So person should defend his dependent against Maya. They say means as a father or mother or guru or demigod even should protect the child, protect the dependents. Otherwise, they are not become a guru or parents or mother or father. That's my. So I was thinking, I took initiation in 1982 in Gitanagari from Satswarup Maharaj. And my son was that time 3 or 4 years old. And I was waiting these days when he will take initiation. And our grandchildren can look that, so they can inspire. So when grandchildren grown up, they will become take initiation. So this is very pleased and nice day and very pleasing day for me, Maharaj. Thank you very much, Maharaj. All those things.
Thank you. Thank you. On behalf of Srila Prabhupada and our Guru Parampara, I'm very happy to offer you the name Madhava Kumar Das.
Madhava Kumar Das Prabhu ki! Nisha and your parents are here also? And ask for Nisha's parents to please come forward also. Can please help to make a clear pathway for initiate's parents to come through.
Very eloquent. Thank you. We are very, very proud of both of you. I'm so grateful. Thank you. On behalf of Srila Prabhupada and our Guru Parampara, I'm very honored to give you the name Nandini Kumari Devi Dasi.
Nandini Kumari Devi Dasi ki! Hari. Ask for Hari to come forward, for Bindu Madhava Prabhu's mother to come forward also. Please clear a pathway for His Grace Bindu Madhava Prabhu to come forward. Please forgive us for the tight temple space. Please make a clear pathway leading to the front of the temple for Bindu Madhava Prabhu.
Achyuta Gopi could also come with little child.
Promise to chant 16 rounds every day, Maharaj. To follow the 4 regulatory principles: no meat, no intoxication, no illicit sex, no gambling, and to be a servant of the servant, serving the Srila Prabhupada's mission.
Thank you.
We want to thank you so much, Maharaj, for all of your time and all of the care and love that you give to every single one of us, and for personalizing and individualizing everyone's time so that we all feel as though, while there may be so many initiates, that your blessings are just for us, and that you're always speaking and giving your mercy and care to just each one of us. So I think on behalf of all of my God brothers and God sisters and God family, we want to thank you for doing the impossible and really showing us how it could be possible that Mahaprabhu could be in Kirtan and look at everyone simultaneously. Because through channeling the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and Sri Sri Radha Govinda Dev and Sri Sri Radha Muralidhar, you have given each one of us the love that we've been craving, even the love that we didn't even know we needed. So thank you.
I'm not used to speaking in front of so many devotees, but I just wanted to say how proud I am of Haridas. He had many, many opportunities to serve many gurus and sannyasis at our house when they would come and stay. He was always eager, very eager to serve in any capacity. And you could see that at Ratha Yatra, how he puts his best foot forward, sometimes under the wheel, to serve the devotees and their lordships. He always encourages me to become a devotee, and I'm very grateful. He's a rare soul. I mean, out of all the Boy Scouts, Hari's an Eagle Scout, and only 1 or 2% of all Boy Scouts become Eagle Scouts. Krishna says out of many millions of people, hardly one becomes a devotee. Here he is setting the example again. He didn't start speaking until he was like 5 or 6 years old. So he's pulling teeth trying to get him to talk a little bit sometimes, at least with me. But anyway, I'm grateful to you, Radhanath Swami, for taking him as a disciple and encouraging him. Grateful for all the devotees here at the Bhakti Center and at Radha Govinda Mandir, who also encourage him all the time. And he encourages other devotees. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
I'm happy for my dad.
So are we. Thank you very much. Family is showering the universe with Krishna's names. On behalf of Srila Prabhupada and our disciplic succession, it is truly an honor to offer you the name Hari Nam Das.
Harinam Das Prabhu Ki! As for His Grace Gauravani Prabhu to come forward, and his family to
Brindarani, children, Bhardraj Prabhu, Anutama Prabhu, Rukmini Devi. I think the demigods have been awaiting this moment.
I vow to chant 16 rounds of Mahamantra every day. I vow to follow the 4 regular principles. no eating meat, no illicit sex, no intoxication. And I vow to strive every day to be the servant of the servant of the servant of you, Sure. Please accept me.
Please accept me. Thank you very much. Thank you so very much.
Mukham karoti vachalam pangum langate gihim Yat kripa tamam vande Shri Gurum Dinatal. This is the second happiest day of my life. First day, happiest day of my life was the day you were born. Now you're born again. I want to express my sincere appreciation to Radhanath Maharaj for being such a dear and close friend and a guide to our son. And I am very, very deeply touched by what is occurring today. Vani was born to preach, and we had considered I had considered many names when he was born. Made many suggestions, but Rukmini Devi, she only had one name, and she was very committed to that name. And his full name was Gauravani Pracharan. So, who knew that he would actually grow into that name and exemplify the honor which was bestowed upon him by giving him such a name, which is the name of our dear beloved Srila Prabhupada. So, much more cannot be added to this, except that I am thankful and grateful, and grateful not only to the destiny that has brought such a wonderful, unexpected blessing into my life, our life, but grateful that now this second outpouring of mercy has taken place, and that has expanded our happiness and pride. Although we're supposed to be humble and we're supposed to be satisfied with whatever destiny has placed in our own way, but somehow or other we have become more proud today to be part of this sacred, momentous and wonderful occurrence. Thank you. Thank you, Gauravani. Thank you, Radhanath Maharaj. Thank you, this incredible, vibrant community of devotees. All glories to Prabhupada.
Thank you, Bhardraj Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. So first I also want to thank His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj, especially for the preaching work that you do, as we've heard personal testimony so far, to inspire so many of the second generation devotees to really reach out and touch their hearts. It's really something I know Srila Prabhupada is very grateful for. And I have one son here, but many extended sons and daughters. And it's a real joy to see them all here and to see their love being awakened in their relationship with you. Briefly, you mentioned about the importance of family. Rukmini and Gauravani and I became a family, and he was this is why they often wonder, why are you the communications director? we became a family when he was 8, and the history is there.
As much as I love his mother, I fell in love with him first. So I pray to Krishna, he'll become more and more empowered. Through this vow and this commitment today, to share Lord Chaitanya's mercy to every corner of the world.
Thank you, Anutama Prabhu. Thank you.
Thank you. First of all, I'd like to thank Srila Prabhupada for accepting the order of his Guru Maharaj and Lord Chaitanya and carrying that order on his head, giving the beautiful message of Krishna to New York and all other places in the world. And I'd like to thank his Guru Maharaj and Lord Chaitanya for giving that order that all living beings deserve this beautiful message of Krishna. And I want to thank Shishi Radha Murlidhar for inspiring the hearts of these great saints with their beauty and their love, and Shishi Radha Govinda and Shishi Radha Murlidhar. And then I'd like to thank you, Radhanath Swami, for making this beautiful message of Lord Krishna so accessible that all of these young people could embrace it as their own and make this beautiful message of Krishna their own mission in life. So thank you so much for embodying the message of Krishna and Srila Prabhupada in such a way that they could all embrace it as their own. Thank you so much. And I thank you, Gauravani. Gauravani was actually in Kirtan before he could even walk or before he could even talk. He was in Kirtan in the arms of Bhardraj Prabhu in the temple. And Gauravani's most beautiful quality is that he's always welcoming others to lead the chanting of the holy name and standing back encouraging all other devotees. And ever since he was a baby, a little child, he was always like that. So I want to thank you, Gauravani, for that most beautiful quality, spreading the holy name. And I want to thank all of you for all of your support. It's been the most loving community. Gauravani couldn't even imagine this day without inviting all the people he loves. You know, Arda's here and Vivian's here from Florida, and I'm looking around seeing all his dear friends. That was so important that you all be here. So please, all of you, pray for Gauravani, but all of these devotees, these beautiful second generations, please pray to the lotus feet of Radha Murlidhar that they will be successful in their vows and offering their lives as the servant of the servant of the servant of Lord Krishna. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Haribol.
Very Srila Prabhupada. Well, Gauravani, he's my son-in-law. He married Brinda. Brinda got initiated when she was 12. And she's always been a very special, she was our first daughter, our first child. And we were always praying to Krishna that we'd find some good boy for her. And then Gauravani came along. I knew from the beginning he wasn't going to help me with the car business. He was destined for something greater. And thank Krishna he did. So we've all been waiting for this day for many years. And we thank you, Maharaj, for encouraging him and inspiring the family and all of us. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you.
First, I want to thank Maharaj for. I'm here for Gauravani today. He's not just my son-in-law, but I consider him my son. But I'm also here for all of you today and to see all of you take that major step in your lives. I'm so proud and happy for all of you. And I'm so happy that we have Radhanath Swami in our lives to encourage all of us and to inspire us to love Krishna and Srila Prabhupada even more. And I want to thank Rukmini Devi because many years ago, I think 20 years ago, we conspired together to bring Brinda and Gauravani together, and it has worked. And I told Rukmini, well, I don't really know Gaura, but I will say yes because I love you, you know. And it has been a joy to have Gaura join our family, and I am so proud of him. And I've said to Brinda and his daughters and his son that your dad is one of my favorite kirtanias and preacher. I said I love his kirtans and the way he preaches. And I feel both he and Brinda are blessed to have each other, and I'm so proud of them. He's going out and preaching for Prabhupada, but Brinda is there supporting his every move. She's there, the backbone in the family, raising the kids, and I'm so proud of her to be this wife, to allow Gaura to reach his full potential, because he's a preacher, that's what he is. And he should be out there preaching. And we love him very much. And we waited all these years also to see Gaura get initiated. But I also love his integrity. I kept on asking, when are you going to get initiated, Gaura? And he said, not till I can fulfill my promise that I make to my spiritual master. And I'm so proud that the moment has come. We love you, Gaura. We love you, Mother.
I don't know how much more can be said, but Gaura, we're so proud of you.
So much more.
We're so proud of you. I know you've waited so long for this day, and how much you've been looking forward to this and preparing, and what a wonderful husband you are and father, setting an example. We love you so much. We're so proud of you.
I think I can say for all three of us that you're one of the biggest inspirations in our life. We're so proud of you today. people waited a long time, but I'm just happy you're doing it when I can see it. I remember when we were in India and we were at the eco village, and Rocco, who's one of my friends, came and waked me up and was like, "Your dad's getting initiated." And then we were like riding on the bike, I'm on the back, and we went to where everybody was getting initiated. And then I was waiting for so long, and I was looking for my dad to see if he was gonna get initiated. And then after the whole thing, he came up to me and was like, "I can't do it right now because I have to wait for my family." And I think that's really important.
Can I do it like Rukmini and tell you? Hare Krishna. Yes. Bharadraj Prabhu, Rukmini Devi, Anuttama Prabhu, you have Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke to Rupa Goswami this how to cultivate the seed of bhakti by giving the water of devotional service, and how that seed becomes a creeper and then a great tree of devotional service. You have nourished the seed of bhakti in Gaurvani Prabhu's heart, Brindarani's heart, Anuttama Prabhu, Mataji, Tulsi Mataji. And we see how it has become a tree which is like a dynasty filled with the fruits of devotion. When we go to the Bahamas every year, or any other kirtan event, when kirtan and Kairava and Revati sing, it's the highlight of everyone's lives. Because they have imbibed such a spirit. Thank you. Rukmini Devi and I, as little children, played on the same fire engine in the park. And by Prabhupada's mercy, we can offer this service together. Thank you. Bharadraj Prabhu, from the day I joined ISKCON and came to North America from India, seeing your kirtans, you were truly a hero that I wanted to emulate your qualities in my life. And there's thousands of other devotees who feel the same way. Anuttama Prabhu, such a dear godbrother, dear friend, one of the few people I could truly confide in, take inspiration from. Such a pillar of integrity within our whole movement. Thank you. are japa beads from Satya Yuga. Yes. Beautiful. Gaurvani Prabhu, we are so proud of you. Devotees, well-wishers have traveled the world to be here for you on this occasion. For me, Gaurvani Prabhu is like a son, a friend, a father, a student. It's how you give your heart to Krishna and how you give your heart to everyone you meet is a great treasure that we all cherish in our hearts. Thank you. On behalf of Srila Prabhupada and our Gaudiya Vaishnava Guru Parampara, I'm happy, honored, and grateful to offer you the name Gaurvani Das.
Gaurvani Das Prabhu ki! We'll now ask the second initiates to come forward for blessings also, and the same way parents can share also their blessings. So we'll ask for Janavi Jivana Devi to come forward. Mataji also.
So, Mother Yamuna would call Janavi Jewel Janavi. And I think that kind of says it all. I don't have much wealth or gold or anything in this life, but somehow I've been given the service of being a caretaker to Janavi Jivana, and yeah, she radiates wisdom and Krishna's holy name and inspiration to all that she meets. She's very humble. And yesterday at Rath Yatra, someone said to me that when Janavi sings, the doors to the temple of your heart open up. And I do believe that. And I'm grateful to Srila Prabhupada and to you, Maharaj, for giving her the shelter and the inspiration that she needs to carry forward and be giving to so many. It's not an easy thing to be on the front line like that, and it takes a lot of spiritual strength. So it's kind of a reverse roles because I get so much inspiration from her, even though I may have given her little droplets when she was young. But I'm really happy for her taking this next step, and I believe with this next step, the doors of Krishna's temple will fully open for her to be able to do even more service. So, Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Our Grace Janavi Jivana Devi ki jai. You can ask for Raj Bhumi Prabhu to come forward. Also, parents can come as well. Can please clear a pathway for Prabhuji to come one more time.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Back again. Hare Krishna. Raj Bhumi Prabhu is my second son, and Maharaj knows him very well. He's very sincere in his devotion, and we are very inspired. And we wish him and Manish Madhav Prabhu can progress in spiritual life furthermore in devotion.
Praise Raj Bhumi Prabhu ki. And ask His Grace Kishore Gopal Prabhu to come forward. And his mother, Ekadasi Devi. Haribo. Can please clear a path for Mataji to come forward. And also for Anantaji to come forward. Whole family to come forward.
Hare Krishna. I don't know. I don't know how, despite my lack of qualification, how Krishna sent me these wonderful, wonderful children. And I'm so grateful. And last time somehow I neglected to mention my spiritual master, because I'm also very foolish. But I know that everything is because of His mercy, His Holiness Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj. Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj. So I'm extremely grateful to him for all the mercy that he's given us. I am grateful, of course, to Srila Prabhupada for coming here and for taking on so much austerity just out of his immense love. I'm grateful to my god brothers and god sisters. There are many of them here. And thank you so much for all the love that you all have given to Kishore Gopal. He's grown so much in your association, Maharaj. I came one time when I was here, we were talking, and right here in the temple room, and all of a sudden he stops. He sees something on the floor, and he starts to clean it up really quickly. And I was thinking, this is the same kid that I used to have to force him to clean his room and wash dishes and all these things. And it's just incredible. But he's not the same kid. He's your disciple. He's your servant. I'm so grateful that he has your association.
and he has the association of all the wonderful devotees here, and he gets so much service, and he works really hard, and I'm so glad for that. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
I also wanted to say thank you so much, Maharaj. We've spent our whole life together, and probably many others, and together is kind of a word that doesn't really describe it. And so for a long time, it was always the twins, and we're always together. And when Kishore came here to the Bhakti Center, was when people started to see Kishore as his own person. As for me and my mom, it was always funny to come here and everybody, I love your brother, he's so amazing, and just on and on and on, everybody just glorifying him all the time. And he has so many amazing friends here, and inspiration and help. We're so grateful as a family to all of you for taking care of him and supporting him. And we hope that these relationships last forever. Thank you very much.
I just want to say thank you for taking Kishore under your wings. I mean, I'm just so grateful to have a brother like him. My brothers are both in them. They're like the greatest ancestors, of course. I have all the inspiration I could ever need in one spot. It's just, I can go to anybody. I'm just so happy to take him under your wing, and I can see him flourishing, and he's happy here. He's genuinely happy here, and I'm so happy to see that. I just want to apologize to him if I ever give him a hard time or anything like that. I know that I have. He deserves all the respect in the world. I just want to say that.
Both. And I'm very grateful to you, Maharaj, for taking him and your association. And the Bhakti Center has, I think, really changed Kishore for the better. And he's become such an amazing person. I'm so happy to be able to come here and see how amazing he is.
One last thing, everyone is always asking, who's older? So today you know, Kishore is older.
One more last thing. I also want to say thank you so much to Vaisheshika Prabhu for giving us love and guidance as well. Thank you.
His Grace Kishore Gopal Prabhu ki! Can I ask for Ananta Govinda Prabhu and his family to please come forward. Janaki has
Well, I have to first speak on behalf of my parents who aren't able to make it. My mom is doing service, sewing an outfit that the beauties are going to put on in a couple of hours. So they weren't able to make it, but I'm sure they're watching it online. And we're very proud of Ananta. Ananta, before he came home, he was born in a midwife center, Roosevelt, in the city. And before they brought him home, they brought him to 55th Street and put him on the altar and offered him to Radha Govinda. So he was theirs before he even came home. They saw him before I did. And so it's the most wonderful thing to see him now taking this Brahmin initiation. We waited, and we're so, so happy and so blessed. And so Ananta is always including everyone. When he sings his kirtan, he's always including everyone. And so I would just like for everyone to say a prayer to Radha Govinda and Radha Muralidhar that he is able to continue to do that, because if you know Ananta, you know that kirtan is his life. He comes, he does kirtan, he talks, he leaves. So I wish more than anything that he's able to continue to do that.
Hare Krishna. I just want to say that I was born as an only child, and by Krishna's mercy, when Ananta was 9, he became my brother. And it's very interesting to me that an older brother can have so much love and admiration for a younger brother. Ananta is capable of doing amazing things. I've seen it. I'm sure you all have seen it as well. And I want to thank you, Maharaj, for giving him the second initiation so he can continue to serve Shri Shri Radha Govinda, Shri Shri Radha Muralidhar, to the limit of his heart's extent. And I pray that we can all be a part of sharing that experience with him.
I think from the time I was born, I was asking the question, can I come too? Anywhere Ananta went, I said, can I come too? So naturally, when Ananta and Janaki got first initiation, the question was a no-brainer, can I come too? So we all went through that day together. And I want to thank you, Guru Maharaj, for allowing me to be older for a few minutes.
Thank you for being so old.
But I would not be here. I would not be held together. I would not be the person that I am without my brother and without my 2 sisters, because there is no us without Janaki. She is the hugest embodiment of compassion and the best cheerleader that anyone could ever have at any time. If you are doing anything, Janaki is so proud of you. She's been proud of me. She's been proud of Nandi. She's been proud of Srinath. She's shown me how to be an amazing aunt and big sister even my nephews. So I can honestly say that I'm not sure I know for sure I wouldn't be the same person without Johnny. And I feel so incredibly blessed to never have to go and try to do anything alone, ever. And so I'm so happy to be here for the two of them, and so happy that now we can do an altar journey. And now I can ask them, can you come too? So please, give them your blessings, give us all your blessings, that we can all continue to serve Sri Sri Radha Govinda and serve Sri Sri Radha Muralidhar and serve all of you as much as we possibly humanly can, and that we can all continue to serve together, because we can't do it without one another. I think today shows that more than anything else. We're all in this together, and we're all going to continue to be in this together. Thank you so much to every one of you.
Hare Krishna. I think it's very fitting that my dad and my aunt Achuta were talking about sibling relationships, because Johnny and Ananta never let us call them like uncle or aunt, because they said it made them feel old. So the relationship has always been one of an older brother and an older sister. And I'm sure it's been very confusing for everyone around the temple, because they have no idea how we're actually related. But being young, I always saw Ananta, and I was like, I want to be like that when I grow up. And I still want to be like that when I grow up. And he's always kept us focused and been heavy and really made sure that we're doing what we're supposed to do. And Janaki has always been an extra mother, and shown us how to love everyone and really take care of everyone. And I want to thank you, Maharaj, because you're doing that for them. You're keeping them focused and giving them all that love, because that's what they do for everybody else, that they encounter everybody. So, thank you.
Haribol. I can say with full conviction and full faith that I've never felt more in touch with the holy name and with Sri Sri Radha Govinda than when I'm with Kirtan with Ananta. I've never met someone more sincere and serious in their spiritual life and with Kirtan than Ananta. And I'm so, so blessed that I'm in a family with such pure, sincere devotees. And when I look on the altar and I see my grandma, I cry. And now I see my mom up there and Achuta up there, and I cry. And now soon I'll be able to see Ananta and Janaki up there. And I'm probably going to cry. And they're just such a blessing from Radha Govinda that they just keep me so focused, and they keep me from straying, and they chastise me so sternly. And I'm just so proud of them, and I love them so much. And I appreciate that you are facilitating this for them. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. I would like to thank Ananta for in 2009, I was watching him lead kirtan, and he called me up on stage, and he handed me a mic, and I immediately began to cry, and he said, just sing with your heart. Sing with your heart for Radha Govinda and Sri Sri Radha Muralidhar. And I'd like to thank Janaki for also inspiring me in kirtan. teaching me that even the most little things like clapping can make a big difference. And enthusiasm is very much needed in kirtan. And I'd like to thank Janki and Ananta for showing me enthusiasm. It's one of the most important things. Haribol.
Honestly, I just wanted to say that Uncle Ananta is one of the best kirtaniyas that I've heard, and Janaki is always there for everyone. So I just wanted to say that, and I'm so glad that they're getting initiated today. I'm so glad my dad is safe, and I'm so happy that I'm here with my mom and dad.
You could say something about Janaki Priya too.
For years, we have so much family. I'm sorry to do this because I know what it feels like now, but for years everybody was like, "Oh, you're just doing a bunch of kirtan and I was like, "Yeah, you don't eat." And I was like, and I chastise the kids when they leave kirtan to go get prashad. I'm like, "What are you doing?" But the secret is that Janaki gets all the prasadam. She gets all the prasadam, and then afterwards, then I eat. And so I make it look like I'm performing this great austerity, and I chastise everyone for leaving and going and eating, but actually, it's all because Janaki makes sure that I eat. But she makes sure that everyone eats, and she gets prasadam for everyone, and she's always the one who's like, "Oh, I didn't get to talk to so-and-so when I saw them in the temple." I'm like, "Why do you have to talk to everybody?" She's like, "We should welcome the devotees." I'm like, "All right." So she really is the embodiment of the mood that we should have as Vaishnavas, and I'm thankful, and I'm grateful, and it means everything. And thank you, Maharaj, for being there at our wedding and making sure that she stayed with me and got the prasadam.
I am extremely grateful to you, Gurudev. I am grateful to be here in this moment with my family, to share this moment with my husband. Ananta is extremely humble when it comes to doing service. I'm grateful to be on this journey with you, and I pray we can spend our lifetimes living up to being worthy of this moment. Thank you.
Gurvani Prabhu, you can speak something about?
I
love the two of you so much. I'm so proud of you. I'm so grateful to be on this planet with you at this time. You know, the universe is so vast. We could be anywhere, but somehow or other Krishna put us all on the same planet at the same time. And when I'm in kirtan with the two of you, I feel so grateful. I feel like the Lord is present and the Lord is listening. The Lord is descending. I feel very unqualified to be here today, taking these vows, but I feel very confident in the two of you and all of the other initiates here. I'm very, very confident in your qualification and your spiritual lives. I'm so grateful. And thank you for letting me. I have also a part in this story because when the three of these guys were taking first initiation, they were like, come on, you got to take initiation. And I said, I want to, but I don't feel like I can do this, honestly. And Ananta said, don't worry. When you sit in front of your guru and you take these vows, the empowerment will come. I just said, I don't know, Ananta, I don't know. So by Krishna's mercy and by Radhanath Maharaj's mercy, I got to play catch up here. So I'm sitting in initiation with all of you today. So thank you so much. I'm sorry to stretch things on, but I just feel that Prabhupada's movement is made up of the spectrum of devotees. The devotees who are doing very grand service, and all the other devotees, including the ones who are doing very quiet and humble service. And that's one of the most beautiful things about this movement. And I often think about you guys. I travel a lot, and I think about you guys doing multiple weekly kirtan programs in New York City, and I'm humbled and I'm grateful, and I'm especially grateful that you consider me part of your spiritual family. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Is there anything else you'd like to speak?
I guess the only thing I would add is, our families are both quite connected to Radha Govinda. My mother was Govinda's first pujari. And my father was there also to receive Govinda when he arrived. Prabhupada gave them both personal instruction on about how to love and care for Radha Govinda. And I feel that the real legacy of Prabhupada's movement is the way that we're able to hold this spiritual tradition and keep that flame alive. My great hope and prayer is that as our children grow, we're able to help Guru and Gauranga to build the New York preaching efforts, so that when we leave our bodies, we're able to offer Srila Prabhupada exponentially greater New York apple, the big apple. Prabhupada, Maharaj spoke, Prabhupada had one small apple divided into 60 pieces. I hope when we're leaving this world, we're able to offer Srila Prabhupada a much larger apple of the big apple, so to speak, in New York City.
Hare Krishna. I just wanted to add one small and very important part in this glorious day. Nanta, what's your son's name? Srinam. Well, we have to thank Srinam for coming and taking birth in this family, because Gauravani made a promise some years ago. Was it downstairs? Was it downstairs? Anyway, Ananta, this was before he had Srinam, and they weren't even thinking about having children. And so I said, Gauravani, when are you gonna get initiated? And he said, when Ananta has a child, I'll take initiation. So he waited some time, but thank you, Srinam, for taking that.
Malati Devi, which some of our Prabhupada disciples who have not spoken, some words of blessings, each of you.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. This has been such an ecstatic initiation that just as Gaur was getting his name, the internet crashed. And so I've been getting all these messages. What's his name? What's his name? What's his name? But regarding leaving Prabhupada a bigger apple, that's not good enough. We got to give him the whole apple orchard.
Hare Krishna. Well, so many of us came with Srila Prabhupada and we had children, and Prabhupada said the next generation would be wonderful and the generation after would be wonderful. And we see that so many of our children have taken to the path of devotional service. They may not have been the ray of Vishnu that we were hoping for, but they certainly they certainly turned out to be beautiful rays of service from Lord Chaitanya and Srila Prabhupada. We're very blessed and very fortunate to have all of your association. And if you can throw in a few prayers for my three sons that they will someday take initiation, that would be wonderful too.
It's such a heartfelt day to watch the relationships deepen, because it's the real substance of our Krishna consciousness movement. It's the loving relationships that make us go, that motivate us every day. And all of us sitting here today basking in this very, very deep love between all of you, between your Guru Maharaj, all your well-wishers, family members, is edifying to the extreme. And yesterday at the Rath Yatra, I was noticing that the people streaming through the Rath Yatra site are dying to meet you. So many young people, they have vigor, youth, life, they just don't know how to use it. When they see you, they suddenly become attracted. I watch their faces. So this commitment you're making, it's not just to yourselves and your families, but it's to the whole world. They're waiting for you out there. And the example that you set in your lives by taking vows and living a spiritual life and actually going out to meet them and giving them help to take the next steps in spiritual life will change the world. Just the ones of you who are in the room right now can cause a revolution in the entire world, and you are already. But this is the next big step, enlisting officially in Lord Chaitanya's army. So what a day it is for the Krishna Consciousness movement right here at the Bhakti Center, ground zero, for the next big explosion coming right from this group. Everyone agrees with these ideas or sentiments, please say Hare Krishna.
This is Gauravani's Aunt Susan.
Gora, I live in Maine, and Maine is very far away. And when you and your band arrive in Maine, the people that stream and love you is immense. And I love you so much. I'm so proud of you.
Hare Krishna. I'm not known to be a very emotional person. But today, I've wet my shirt. I also saw the amazing reaction of the kirtan yesterday with people. And I was going around handing out leaflets for our Hare Krishna film to them. And they're so receptive. People that would normally, not take it, I would imagine, immediately took it. And they're just, the kirtan that you young people are performing is extraordinary. And we're so thankful to have this encouragement in our old age. That things will continue on a very wonderful platform. And Maharaj Radhanath Swami, we're so grateful to you to give us that leadership. Leadership is everything. Had it not been for you, we would not be here today. We don't know where we'd be. And of course, Srila Prabhupada, you can just say that especially. Where would we be without him? So thank you very much for following in his footsteps, for providing the leadership that we all need and desire. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
I'm still getting messages because I mentioned that the internet crashed, but I didn't mention the name. So herewith, Gauravani Das and Janava Tosi Priti Dasik.
When I think of Srila Prabhupada looking up at these buildings and the challenge of trying to do something in New York, and then on the Rath Yatra, I was looking up at these buildings and saying, how is this happening? And I was so humbled because I also had my little stint in New York to try to serve the devotees and bring the holy name to people. And now that I see how the younger generation is actually fulfilling that mission, my heart is so glad. I'm so glad to be able to be privileged to dance in your kirtan. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Haribol Kavi Chandra Maharaj Ki Jai.
I haven't been able to do much for the youth in America, but I've been waiting, and praying that. So this is a big step. Madhava and Janavi getting initiated, now Gauravani. It's like opening a floodgate or something. And I'm sure we're going to see many, many more rushing forward. And the same thing everybody said, the kirtans are, so amazing in every way. So thank you all very much. And keep it up. Hare Krishna.
I just wanted to say that this is one of the most exciting and inspirational initiation ceremonies I've ever attended, and I know a lot of the devotees that got initiated, and Gauravani said to me on Friday, hey, we're having initiations at the Bhakti Center on Sunday morning, and he says, I'm getting initiated. I said, what do you mean? I thought you were already initiated. And he said, only in my heart. And I always remember one specific thing. We used to have the Festival of Inspiration at New Vrindavan, and on Mother's Day, Radhanath Swami would give the Mother's Day address, and it was always like so super moving and really inspirational. And Gauravani, on this one Mother's Day, Rukmini was there and myself and many other mothers, and he just was crying so much. And after he hugged his mom, he came and hugged me, and he said he was thankful to all the mothers of the devotees in ISKCON. So thank you so much. And thank you, everybody, for your inspiration.
My congratulations and heartfelt affections to all the initiates. There's something very magic, it seems, in the air about this moment in particular. Something a bit historic and just, I'm ecstatic now as I was about some 46 years ago, taking initiation by some grace by Srila Prabhupada. And what comes to me is that the amazing Shakti and potency that was there at my initiation, and it was a huge one in Los Angeles, is still here today. It lives and it thrives and it's alive and well. And this is a new beginning, a new dawning, a new morning, as I was saying in the GEV a few months ago. And may you all be so blessed. May you have a chance to offer your hearts deep love and gratitude to all your mentors and teachers. We give our most humble, loving obeisances to our Srila Prabhupada. We're so grateful that he's made everything possible. And in particular, I'd like to offer my love and thankfulness to His Holiness Radhanath Swami, who I find is just incomprehensibly loving and pure. A gentleman personified, who's filled with integrity and dignity, making all of this very possible. And I'm just so enthused and so profoundly grateful to be here, to present with these initiations and being just in the moment. So much more I can say. And especially Gauravani Das Prabhu, we've been speaking about this magic moment and step you've taken for 2 years on and off. And I'm just so proud of you. I'm proud of all the initiates. Especially somehow we have a connection and we've spoken about this moment. And it's happened and I'm so ecstatic. I think this whole room and whoever's listening in the airwaves are just so ecstatic for all you guys taking this step. And I can assure you are in very qualified hands with His Holiness Radhanath Swami. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
I just want to also just express my gratitude to all of the devotees who are gathered here for initiation. You know that we all put a lot of work in to make this happen, and I know that it was in some ways a burden to do this at this time. New York has so many festivals at Rath Yatra time, so much going on, so many services, but I just am really grateful and so honored to be with all of you, so proud of all of you. And I feel like this is binding us all together as a spiritual family. And I'm so grateful to all of you. And grateful to all the devotees who have come from far and wide to give their blessings. And thank you. Hare Krishna.
Janavi Jivana and Tulsi, Preeti, and your brother, please come. If you could speak something in blessings for each other. Much louder, please.
Hare Krishna. Extremely grateful to be here. This occasion is quite overwhelming and so beautiful. And I was feeling so excited this morning for my friends, for my sister. I know how much taking this step means. And for Tulsi, we've spent many years together. And she's really, like so many have expressed, the relationship between siblings can be so profound. We wonder how we came into this world together and what we have to learn from each other. Sometimes it's joking around when we are children, but we also teach each other so many lessons. So Tulsi has, she's my younger sister, but she guides me and helps me so much. She's one of the people who really knows how to encourage me and pull me out of any anxiety. As my mom mentioned, Tulsi has an incredible energy and stamina and vitality that my dad used to call her Tornado Tulsi. And I always would think that that is really a force to be reckoned with, that when it's channeled in a very positive way, that it's just inconceivable what she can do in service, what her heart desires to do. So I'm extremely proud of her. It's not been such always an easy journey to come to this moment, and also to see her taking this step as setting a beautiful example for Chandra. And also want to express my gratitude to our parents. We really nothing without them. They've given us everything. And they set such an incredible example for us, and inconceivable sacrifices. So I thank both of them very much. My father, I think he might be watching. And also to thank Namras for being there for Tulsi, for being her support and encouragement always. I want to glorify Mali, but I don't want to embarrass her.
I'm so incredibly proud of Tulsi. She's done a ton of internal work to get to this point. It's the internal work that's the hardest. And I'm so thankful to her for taking this step and for Guru Maharaj accepting her, and I'm I'm looking so forward to being on the altar with you and being a pujari, but right now I know you're pujari to this deity, the head pujari of our little deity. But it's just, no words can describe the feeling today that I have of gratitude and pride and just gratefulness. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Everyone, thank you so much for really, I mean, many people know I moved here about three years ago, and it was very difficult to come from such a large, vibrant community as Bhaktivedanta Manor and come to, you know, New Jersey and New York City where things are really growing from the ground. It's like a grassroots, you know, revival of Krishna consciousness in New York City, which everybody's just really putting so much effort into service, and it's so inspiring to see. And the support that we felt from this community has really, you know, brought me to this point. I have wanted to get initiated for over 10 years, and I never, in a way, I thought I would never get there. There would never be that final jump over the hurdles. But through the support of my family and especially my husband, who's really tried to set such a good example for me, and since before we were, you know, we first met as friends, and even from that point, he tried to encourage me to chant. That's why I was attracted to him, because he really just wanted to be a devotee, and that stayed the same the whole way through our relationship. And I really, you're the only reason why I'm here today, I think, with that final hurdle. And I want to thank Brahma Muhurta Prabhu as well for always inspiring us both and pushing Nam to be a little easier on me. And so thank you for that. In terms of my sister, just to say a few words, that she's always been a shelter for me when I was very young, and as everyone's been saying, a little wild with my energy. I used to run away from home sometimes. Quite a few times, thank you, yes. That was my thing. I wouldn't run very far, but Jahnavi would normally run after me. And when I got too far and I felt a little nervous, so maybe I pushed it a little bit too far this time, I would just turn around and she was at the end of the alleyway saying, "Come on, come back now." And that's kind of how our relationship has always been. She's always been the one to kind of pull me back and inspire me to continue and to be more equiposed and more balanced and not so extreme. So when she took initiation, I was watching from like 2 a.m. because it was in England. So I was here. I wasn't able to be there in person, but I was so inspired. And so thank you for that. And thank you again for all the Bhakti Center community. You want to say something? Especially since Gaurachandra has come, you've really just taken all of us and taken him as your child, and I really see that example of a child being raised by the community, because he belongs to everyone here, so there's nothing more I could want for him. So thank you so much. And for supporting my brother, last thing. He's just come here for a short time, but everyone's really welcomed him, so thank you so much for that.
I always joke with Jahnavi and Tulsi that whenever I'm doing something related to Krishna consciousness, whether it's participating in the kirtan
I look over the room at them, and they're always giving me what I call the proud eyes. You know, and I always say, stop giving me the proud eyes, just, you know, shoot me like normal. Anyway, so today it's my turn to give them the proud eyes. And I am really proud of them. They've both always been my spiritual heroes. So, people say I'm a combination of the two of them, but actually, I hope I can have some of your qualities in the future. And thank you to everyone, since they've both been here, showing them so much love. And they've really, I can see they've developed so much in their spiritual lives as well, so thank you to everyone for that. Okay. And thank you to Radhanath Swami for showing them so much love as well.
If any of the initiates would like to say a few words that hasn't spoken.
I just wanted to thank Arjun Prabhu for taking care of me and always being there for me, and he's my hero, and he's the only reason, a huge reason why I'm here. Without him, I think this probably wouldn't have happened, so I'm very grateful. And also Birabhadra Ramprabhu, always been like my big brother here in Bhakti Center, and he's always encouraged me and been by my side through everything that I've experienced here. And I'm also feel that this opportunity is also very much due to his compassion and encouragement and inspiration. So, and so many others who are here. Obviously, my family, of course, who have always been there for me. But I just wanted to really appreciate you too. And Jai Giridhari, I don't know if he's here. Jai Giridhari, and so many devotees here. So thank you.
Haribol, I didn't get a chance to bless Ananta and Janaki. So I started coming to the temple maybe, let's say 14, 15 years ago. And I would be there doing Sunday night kirtan or Wednesday night kirtan, and I wouldn't have a way to get home. And Ananta would drive me 45 minutes out to my house, so I would be able to stay for the full length of kirtan. So I really would not be here without, him making that sacrifice and making sure I got from kirtan back to wherever I was going home. So really, it's really on you. Also, Janaki, she is so compassionate. She takes care of Nandi so well. She's like a second mother. And really, I wouldn't be able to do kirtan if you weren't taking care of Nandi so well. So thank you. And then there's one other person, Achyuta. Really, if, I wouldn't be sitting here without you. So thank you. And when I say I wouldn't be here, literally this morning I was asleep at 8:30 and she woke me up.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Just so humbled to be here. Just first wanted to thank my parents and my in-laws for raising both Nisha and I in such a loving Krishna conscious environment. I'd like to thank my brother as well, because even though I'm the older brother, from a spiritual perspective, he's definitely the higher brother. Gauravani, who is we call him our middle brother because I wouldn't be here today without him either. And all of the devotees here whose loving association really just encourages us, and without which I really don't think I'd be able to take the step. So from my deepest hearts, I thank everyone for your blessings and your encouragement, and I hope I can live up to your expectations. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. I want to say that I'm extremely grateful to be here today. First, I'd like to thank Maharaj for accepting me and for guiding me through many, many years. I have to say that when Tamal Krishna Maharaj left this world, I was completely lost. I didn't know where to turn. I didn't know where to go. I thought, there goes my opportunity to advance spiritually. But when I met Radhanath Maharaj in Dallas, I felt I had a way to go. I felt I might have a chance. I might have some hope. And through the years, we've developed association with Maharaj and been able to develop my spiritual path. And so I'm extremely grateful for that. I'm also extremely grateful for my parents for raising me in a spiritual environment and always supporting me regardless of what direction I've been going. And I also want to thank, although they're probably listening, all of the Dallas devotees, my dearest Sri Sri Radha Kalachandji, who I wouldn't be here.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you for letting my parents get initiated because they've wanted this for a really long time. And one day I want to get initiated too.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Srila Prabhupada, for giving us your divine grace, which is so especially through each other. Prajalila Devi, would you like to say what Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj spoke about community very briefly?
Hare Krishna Maharaj, Jai, devotees. As always, you're always including everyone. I'm thinking be like a little fly in the back, hiding out. However, because of how you are, you don't let that happen. So thank you very much. Actually, as I was sitting here next to Srila Prabhupada, I was thinking how privileged some of us are to be in the association of all of Srila Prabhupada's disciples, because all of you have given so much, and we've heard that today, as parents to some of the young devotees that are getting initiated. Because of all of you here, you have made it possible for all of us, because I am not a disciple of Srila Prabhupada. I am maybe one of the older second generations, I guess. I guess that's what you call it, I don't know. Older in age, I mean. So, yeah, because of all of you, you have all made it possible. And because of all of you and the loving support that you give to those like Srila Radhanath Maharaj, to be able to do what he does on behalf of Srila Prabhupada. This kind of community is what we all need to see, so that this ISKCON movement can continue to expand and grow in love, as I've heard here today. The disciples of Srila Prabhupada, they are showing the love and support that we as second generations need to carry on. The way that we see that is how Srila Prabhupada has empowered so many of them. And they have shown us how when one take that baton, so to speak, and carry it in a way of purity to be able to affect the hearts of so many, then the others, they just get on that stand with that person and support him. And so that's what I heard today here with community, that Srila Prabhupada's disciples are sitting here and they're honoring Srila Radhanath Swami for the services that he's offering to Srila Prabhupada. I believe Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj, that's what he lived his life for. That's what he left this planet for, to help us to understand that kind of connection, how important that is. It's so easy for us to be disconnected because we have a variety of mindsets in our movement. However, when we see this mindset of support and love, then we can honor that and we can feel the privilege of being a part of that. So as I sat here next to Srila Prabhupada, again, I will say this from the depth of my heart. I thank all of you very, very much, those disciples that's carrying on Srila Prabhupada's movement. And I thank Srila Radhanath Maharaj for encouraging and taking the hearts of these devotees that are here. I wanted to share something about Janaki, because I was very fortunate to serve Shri Radha Govinda with her mother. Her mother's very devoted devotee. We did Sankirtan together for many, many years. And her father, Shyamasundar Prabhu, he's also very devoted father. So I just want to say, Janaki, you're surrounded by so much love. And you have many parents. However, I know those parents that birthed you, that they are also so much here, even though they may not be physically here, because their love for you is their love for how they took to serving Srila Prabhupada. So I wanted to say that on your behalf. So Maharaj, I thank you. Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj, I think will be smiling, because what we're seeing here today is respect, mutual respect, and mutual care and service to Srila Prabhupada. That's what we need to see more often. Thank you so very much.
So for all the initiates, we'll now quickly make our way to 26 Second Avenue. This is, it's a very, very small, humble abode, Srila Prabhupada's first temple. So we're asking that just the initiates, and if everyone can listen, just the initiates and the devotees whom they personally have invited to come. It's a very small space, so let's please respect that and honor that. And we will continue an incredibly special and dynamic Nam Yagya here at the Bhakti Center while they have a fire yagya at 2nd Avenue. So those initiates, we can all loudly chant Haribol, sending them to 2nd Avenue, and then we will go pick them up very shortly with a Maha Harinam. Haribol! 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 Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prasthaya, Bhutale, Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prasthaya, Bhutale, Srimati Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Nityananda Radhanath Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya